Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, speakers are invited from India and abroad. Every day, we are listening from them on different topics related to education, law, environment, technology, etc. This series is running from last 5 years, and it is the Women Empowerment Series because the joining speakers are mostly women resource persons, so that this series recorded its name in the India Book of Record, Asia Book of Record, and International World of Record. This series is continuing with the support of the speakers, invited speakers, and the participants, those who are joining daily. I welcome from our organization and all the participants. Today's speaker, Dr. Stuti Srivastava, who is Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Allahabad Degree College, University of Allahabad. Being an assistant professor from Teacher Education Department, she has chosen the topic active learning in classrooms. Here we joined are mostly teachers, so this topic is also very much useful to us. We welcome today's speaker and request you can present your topic active learning in classrooms. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me here. And being an assistant professor in Department of Education, and as a school education researcher, as my area of research is school education, I have chosen the topic active learning in classrooms. Basically, how a teacher can facilitate the activity learning in the classrooms, and what kind of environment and pedagogical strategies we should plan so that we can facilitate the students. As a teacher, we can facilitate the students to learn actively, to become an autonomous learners and take the responsibility of their own learning. Uh, Here, the topic active learning means that the student actively involve, participate in the learning, and they take the responsibility of their own learning, and they get engaged so that as learning outcome, they understand the concept meaningfully and apply the concepts in their real world, so that learning should be relevant to the learners. It should not only it should not only like to memorize the facts and just passing the exams, and after the exams forget the concepts. The learning must be meaningful. The learning to engage them in the to engage the students in the learning, and to make it more meaningful and relevant to the students. Now, in the beginning of the lecture, I want to ask a question to all of you. And I request you to recall any of your classes where students were fully engaged, and recall from your memory any of your classes, from your school classes, or as a teacher from your classes where students were fully engaged. In those classes, what exactly the teachers were doing? Can anyone recall and give the answer? Yes, any one of you? I just want you to recall any of your class where the students were fully engaged. But it were any one of you? Kindly respond. Okay, so here I want faculty with observe and act. It means where the faculty means with. Can you please elaborate your response, Ravi Shankar ji? I think it means give the students opportunity to observe and to give them some activity oriented activity action based learning, or give them some activities, hands on activities or minds on activities. So it is correct. And from the activity there are some principles of active learning. For example, it must be learner centered approach, not the teacher centered approach. The child centered or learner centered approach, where the full importance is given to the child or the learner, and learning should be based on some activity, with the help of some inquiry or discovery, or with the help of some discussion. So that learning will be the learning by doing, where the students are fully engaged. They are discussing, they are doing some hands-on activities or the minds-on activities, and they are interacting socially and collaborating with each other, collaborating in their groups. For example, group work is also a kind of active learning, where the children are socially interacting with their students, with their teachers, with their peers, or sometimes with their parents as well. And it is a kind of collaboration between the teachers, students, teachers, and learners, and learners and learners. So, and after the learning, reflection, and after the after the whole activity, the most important point is reflection and feedback. What is reflection and feedback? I elaborate here. The and it Because in NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, the word experiential learning is given. So what the experiential learning actually is? Here a quote is written, which is given by John Dewey. We do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience. So here in this cycle of experiential learning, you can see that after doing some activity, the child gain the experience. And most important thing is, after gaining the experience, reflect on your experience. Reflect on your experience means you think, you look back on your experience. Look back whatever experience you have gained, and think, and ask some question from yourself. What did you learn? And how did you learn? So these are type of questions. And what next you have to learn? What did you learn? What else you have to learn in your next concept, in your next lesson? So this is a kind of reflection. So experiential learning is not only giving them the hands-on activities, not only the activity-based learning, not performing some activities, but after performing the activities and gaining the experience, reflect back on your experience. So this is the main concept of experiential learning. You gain whatever you gain from your experience. What did you learn? What you learned, and what next you have to learn. So this is the reflection is important when we are focusing on the experiential learning. So as a teacher, whenever your students, you have to keep in mind, where whenever your students are performing some activities or discussion or debate in the classroom, you ask them certain questions, so that, and you tell them to ask certain questions from themselves, so that they can reflect on their learning. Reflection is important. Without reflection, the learning will not be meaningful. The learning will not be prolonged. It will not be long lasting. and you will not no, it will not be a part of your development. It will not be a part of your growth. So this is experiential learning, and here you can see the National Education Policy says that the pedagogy means teaching of science of teaching. The way you are teaching, it is pedagogy. Pedagogy must be holistic, integrated, enjoyable, and experiential and engaging. Integrated means you integrate. No, integrated means suppose you are teaching subject science, so you should not teach it in the isolated manner. You integrate the real life examples, you integrate the mathematics wherever required, you integrate the chemistry, you integrate the arts wherever required. So it should be holistic. It should be interconnected. It should not be compartmentalized into a hard boundary subject. So the pedagogy must be integrated, holistic, enjoyable, experiential, and engaging. So I suggest you some of the very easy and low cost strategies so that you can give your students opportunities to learn actively. So here I can you in this slide you can see some boxes. These are the shoe box kit, an activity kit which you can prepare by your own self by using the low cost materials. And in the science, these are the kits where the teacher collects some materials and equipments with the help of students for carrying out some activities in the classroom. The advantage of this activity kit is that when you suppose you are teaching in a rural area and you don't have a specialized laboratory, very specialized laboratory or activity room in your school. So what you can do here, you collect some very low cost material. You can see here some materials are kept inside this box like thread, a paper cup, some match boxes, straw, rubber bands, and some magnets. So with the help of these low cost materials, you can put all these materials into a shoebox and prepare your shoebox activity kit, which is very convenient to use. And these are the set of materials which you can take to your classroom and activities perform certain activities. For example, uh, with the help of rubber band, you can you can perform the experiment of elasticity in front of your students. So okay. So these are the materials. You should keep in mind that the material should be low cost or no cost, locally available, and things you have to keep in mind that before students come to the class, you have to do all the arrangements, and before performing the activity, before demonstrating the activity in front of your students, you try out in the class. You try out before performing in the classroom. You try out and you conduct a demo in advance so that it can be performed smoothly in the classroom. So everything should be here in this box. Here in this activity kit, you can see that compartments are made. So these combine these compartments so that you can arrange on the materials systematically. It should be organized. It should not be unorganized. All the materials should be organized. And as I said that in experiential learning, reflection is important. So after performing the activity, you can ask your students, what do you think? Certain open-ended questions. You ask your students, not the close-ended students. After not only, I'm not talking about the only the activity. After discussion, after telling a story or a case, you must ask certain open-ended questions to your students. For example, what do you think about it? And how did it happen? Um, and you give them certain wait time and listen their responses carefully. And after listening to their responses and the theoretical aspects given in the books, you arrive at the conclusion. You consider their responses, listen carefully to their responses, and whatever given whatever concept is given in the book related to that activity, make a connection, make a link between the theory and the practical observation, and after that you come to the conclusion. So the by using the activity kits, you can perform the activity. You can do activity based learning in the class. Now, the next strategy I'm talking here, I am discussing the next strategy is the here. It's a blackboard strategy. You can use it in the blackboard while teaching, or you can use it as assessment as well. So here you can. This is a concept map. Atom has outer region and a central core. And the central core is called nucleus, and the outer region consists of electrons. And nucleus consists of two two parts, protons and neutrons. And these both protons and neutrons are called nucleons. So whenever you are discussing a concept like water can exist in three states. Suppose it is written in the textbooks. Water can exist in three states: solid, liquid, and gaseous. In the solid state, water exists in the form of ice or snow. In the gaseous state, water exists as water vapor or steam. Finally, the liquid state of water, which is the state in which it is consumed by living organisms, is simply referred to as water. So, you. So how can you? There is one strategy known as the concept map strategy. You can prepare your concept maps. So why these maps are known as concept maps? Because concept maps are the visual representation of the concept, which shows the organization of knowledge in your student's mind. So here you have you have prepared a visual representation of the concept, which I which I read in the last slide. This is the visual representation by making some arrows. There are two concepts like water and molecules. Here you can see the water and molecules. Suppose water and molecules are two concepts, and between these two concepts there is a linking word. And the you can not you can use the key terms. Water is a key term, and molecule is a key term. So isolate as number of as possible as the number of key terms. You have to pick some key terms from the statements, like water is a key term, solid state is a key term, solid, liquid, gaseous are the key terms. So isolate, pick some key terms from the statements given in the textbook, and arrange it from general to specific, from upside to down, upward to downward. Arrange it, and there should be an arrow. These are the links, and above the arrow, place a linking word over the arrow. So water is made up of molecules. So this kind of representation you can you can show to your students so that the learning will be meaningful and long lasting. It has some science, it has some psychological concept behind this, that that it is a visual representation of the concept. And likewise, you are preparing the diagram on the concept map on the blackboard. The same your student parallelly will arrange the concept in his mind. So there is a parallel between whatever you are teaching with the help of concept map, and and the student is parallelly organizing the concept in his mind. So it's a psychological aspect. And the theory, it is based on the theory of Piaget. It is based on the theory of Ausable, and Ausable has used the concept of Piaget. So concept map is very much relevant, and you ask your students to prepare their own concept maps. So it will be never be forgettable, and very very useful for them. So there are here the three concepts of concept, the three components of concept map I discussed. The number one is key term. You have to isolate the key terms and links between the two key terms and linking words. These are the linking words. Is made of molecules have heat energy. Molecules and heat energy are the key terms, and here is the links, and over the links have is the linking word. And so these are the few examples of making of using some strategies to make learning experiential, engaging to your students. The other things you have to other for there is a need for activity learning in today's classroom, because the students have short attention spans to engage them and to develop the 21st century skills like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, because learning is not about covering content but discovering meaning. It is not you don't have to cover the content, you don't have to cover the syllabus only. It is not, as a teacher, it is not our duty, but whatever a student is learning, the student learn it meaningfully, and the student discover the concept by their own. They take the responsibility of their own learning. So give them chance to think, give them some small problems, and give them materials so that they they perform their activity. Sometimes give them some questions, and they collect their responses. They ask their parents, they ask their elders in the classroom, in their home, and come with their responses, come to the classroom with their responses, diverse responses, discuss, reflect, collaborate with each other, so that there should be a true learning. Some other techniques like think, pair, share, like students think individually, discuss with their partner, and share in the class. Group discussion is very important, peer teaching, sometimes simulations. CIT and has prepared a lot of simulations. There are many good websites of these simulations, PHET, Colorado, and Cells Alive. Prepare some learning stations, activity corners in your schools. So these are the simple classroom examples for active learning in the classrooms. And one thing we need to keep in mind, that we have to make it very low cost so that it can be affordable to everyone, because everyone can get the opportunity to learn. Okay, thank you so much, sir. If any question anybody wants to ask, you are welcome. And next, the role of teacher in active learn the role of teacher in active learning. Yes, if you want to ask something, you are welcome. So here, as a teacher, we have to become a facilitator, guide, and learning designer. It not in our lesson plan should not be mechanical. Lesson planning should be flexible, and you can change. You it must not be mechanical. Said that you have, for example, you went to the class with some uh, fixed points and you have started teaching there. It should not be like this. It should be you design your lessons flexibly, and always keep space for the students' responses, student participation. You encourage them to participate. You ask open-ended questions. Okay, so yes. Anything else? Yes, Doctor. It was all from my side.
May I ask one question?
Yes.
Is hands-on activity the minds-on activity?
Pardon?
Is a hands-on activity is always a minds-on activity?
Sir, hands-on activity, if it is, no, actually, there are, when the student is doing some inquiry, uh, you should be, it should be flexible. Suppose you remember that we were doing some experiments in the chemistry lab and we were without knowing what is its purpose. So it was a kind of cookbook activity. You give them some instructions and students have to follow those instructions and they have to come up with some readings. So it is not relevant for them. So it will not be a minds-on activity. It will be a hands-on activity, but it will, because the student is not understanding the purpose. It is not relevant to them. When the activity is relevant to the students, student is engaging with the mind. Student is taking some decisions, doing some. They are thinking. Students are getting chance to think, design their own experiments. They are coming up with their own solutions. These are the um, things where we can involve them in the activity with minds on. Yes,
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
yes, this what I want to say here. So some activities are known as cookbook activities, where we just give them some steps of instructions and students have to follow those instructions rigidly and come with some calculations. They arrive at some calculations or readings or some like that. So they don't, without understanding its meaning and purpose. So there should be some flexibility when you are giving them activity. You give them chance to think, give them opportunity to think. It doesn't matter they are doing right or wrong, but let them explore. This is the, and we were also in many schools and even in our projects we are also trying out these kind of activities. We give freedom to them. Okay, okay, sir. Yes, Swanand ji. Yes, Dr. Swanand.
It is a wonderful session, ma'am, and really it is required for the students, because active learning always give a more impression than what passive learning we are didactic lectures we are going with. So
Yes,
that is there, definitely there,
yes,
right?
and sir, I want to say here that
Yeah.
not only syllabus covering the syllabus is not important. You teach them only the key points. In NCRTs and NCFSC, they are preparing the syllabus like that only. Everything is transforming now. So, you just take the key concepts and teach the key concepts in a holistic way, with despite of covering the whole syllabus.
Yeah, we are also using pair share and I think pair
Yes,
share and
think
bus
fair share.
classes and group dynamics we are using, no doubt. But
Yes,
which tool has to be used at what time? That is also art.
yes, exactly.
So, it means it should be a dynamic, structure. It is not something very
Mhm.
fixed,
Yes,
and it depends upon the audience also that what kind of activities they will be going with, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this? Please comment.
Sir, so what your question exactly is?
My question is, as per
Mhm.
the audience, as per the situations, as per the content of the the teaching this our tools, various tools, what we are saying act for the active learning, we should change them,
Yes.
and how and where to change them, what audience, how to understand this all aspects.
So,
Many of the time happens that I'm from the medical college. We are having so much of tight schedule that clinical postings are there in the hospitals, and patients, the students are coming back, and then they are having some their lectures. And over there, what happens that if I'm going with the integration, or if I'm going with the symposia or something like that seminar, it consumes time, and we are having limitation of the syllabus, that coverage of syllabus also. So in such an instance, should we means teach the same topic again and again, or we can go with that symposia and we will conclude the topic? How it has to be approached? That is my question.
sir, sir, I understand your question. Is it in medical colleges you are talking about? But yes, whether you are the strategy you choose according to your own lesson, according to your own topic, and this is also in teaching we use a term pedagogical content knowledge. The pedagogical content knowledge means you integrate a very specific pedagogy to a particular content. Suppose the content you have to teach, like anatomy, you have to teach. You have in medical. I'm not exactly, I don't know exactly how you teach, but integrate a particular pedagogy with a particular content, which is most suitable. Pedagogy means a style of teaching, but but it must be you always try to connect with their real life, where connected with the real life examples, and it must have some relevance. When the relevance comes, automatically the content become engaging. So try to find out its relevance, the content, make the content more interesting, and whether you are teaching it with the help of symposia or something other strategy, give the students to take the give them autonomy. Certain autonomy is also required, I think.
Yeah,
Freedom.
active
And also, there should be some open-ended questions. You frame certain open-ended questions and give them chance to reflect and come with their own conclusions. So I think we must try. Sir,
Yeah, that I think that active learning is really, it is a exploring technique, one thing. Second thing, everyone becomes very active in the activities rather than sitting in the lecture room.
And yes,
And
it must be
yeah,
a fun. There
yeah, we are
some
having, in anatomy, we are going for dissections. Of physiology, we are
yes.
going for blood investigations. And, we then at the end of session, we can ask certain questions, open-ended questions. I think that will really, it will be a depth study. So thank you very much,
Okay.
ma'am, for your wonderful
Mhm.
explanation. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir. And always tell them something. How can they do their startup? So it will become startups in this area. How it should be a holistic, not only a very compartmentalized into a deep into the subject. It must be related to some other aspects as well. So it
Integrated
becomes
approach has to be used.
integrated.
Integrated.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Can I wind up now?
As per your convenience. If you have finished I thought that a few slides are remaining. If you want to explain, you can explain. I am seeing the PPT. If it is needed, then you can explain, or we can stop here. No problem. There is no
So I
time limit.
think, yes, sir. My PPTs are covered. All are covered.
Can we stop here?
Yes, sir. Sir, I stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all participants, those who are joined here. Special thank to Dr. Sanand Shukla sir and others, those who have discussed here, Prashant sir and all. It's very effective presentation by our today's speaker, Stuti madam, because she is a teacher and the active learning, how is effective in the classroom, how the concepts can be cleared, how the students are engaged in the classroom. All these things are made clear by her. And in future also, she will be invited on another topic. I thank you, ma'am, from my organization. And thank you to all participants, those who are joined here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity. And it is also a learning for me. Sir, can I leave now?
Feedback link is available in the chat box. Participants are requested to fill the feedback link so that they can issue their certificates in the group. Thank you, ma'am. We are waiting for filling the feedback link. You can left now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.